Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our April the 3rd lesson in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students from the original edition, Lesson 123. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Today, let us be thankful. We have come to gentler pathways and to smoother roads. There is no thought of turning back and no implacable resistance to the truth. A bit of wavering remains, some small objections, and a little hesitance, but we can well be grateful for our gains, which are far greater than we realize. Our gains are far greater than we realize, he's telling us. Just that we've made it to Lesson 123. He says that now we're on gentler pathways and smoother roads. You know, we've made these big decisions. The last couple of days were big ones, weren't they? Forgiveness is the key to happiness. And forgiveness offers everything I want. To me, that's like the central thought in A Course in Miracles. And the way I see it is that we're trying to grab hold of something that's real in a world that makes no sense. Well, forgiveness is that thing that's real. It's the bridge that brings unreality to reality. To be able to let go and let God. To realize that only love is real. Anything else is an imagination that we can free ourselves from. And we're starting to do that. And that's why our roads are getting smoother and our pathways gentler. A day devoted now to gratitude will add the benefit of some insight into the real extent of all the gains which you have made, the gifts you have received. Be glad today in loving thankfulness your Father has not left you to yourself, nor let you wander in the dark alone. Be grateful he has saved you from the self you thought you made to take the place of him and his creation. Give him thanks today. Give thanks that he has not abandoned you and that his love forever will remain shining on you, forever without change. Give thanks as well that you are changeless, for the Son he loves is changeless as himself. You're as changeless as God. Be grateful you are saved. Be glad you have a function in salvation to fulfill. Be thankful that your value far transcends your meager gifts and petty judgments of the one whom God established as his Son. Today in gratitude we lift our hearts above despair and raise our thankful eyes, no longer looking downward to the dust. We sing the song of thankfulness today in honor of the self which God has willed to be our true identity in him. Today we smile on everyone we see and walk with lightened footsteps as we go to do what is appointed us to do. We do not go alone, and we give thanks that in our solitude a friend has come to speak the saving word of God to us. And thanks to you for listening to him. His word is soundless if it be not heard. In thanking him, the thanks are yours as well. An unheard message will not save the world, however mighty be the voice that speaks, however loving may the message be. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings his voice with you, and let it echo round and round the world. So see, there's your part in salvation, into saving the world, is that you found yourself being saved from the illusion of separation. And now you can pass it on by your presence, by your life, your loving and caring life that you get to now share with others. And thanks to you for listening to him. His word is soundless if it be not heard. In thanking him, the thanks are yours as well. An unheard message will not save the world, however mighty be the voice that speaks, however loving may the message be. Thanks be to you who heard, for you become the messenger who brings his voice with you, and let it echo round and round the world. Receive the thanks of God today as you give thanks to Him, for He would offer you the thanks you give, since He receives your gifts in loving gratitude and gives them back 1,000 and 100,000 more than they were given. He will bless your gifts by sharing them with you, and so they grow in power and in strength until they fill the world with gladness and with gratitude. Receive His thanks and offer yours to Him for 15 minutes twice today. So you're going to receive God's thanks and offer thanks to Him for 15 minutes twice today. And you will realize to whom you offer thanks and whom He thanks as you are thanking Him. This holy half an hour given Him will be returned to you in terms of years for every second. Power to save the world eons more quickly for your thanks to Him. Wow. What's he say here? This holy half an hour, these two 15-minute practice periods, meditations, where you're going to spend your quiet time giving thanks to God and receiving His thanks to you. He says of this holy half an hour given Him will be returned to you in terms of years for every second. Power to save the world eons more quickly for your thanks to Him. Wow. You want to speed things up for every second you spend in the quiet thanking God? You're going to speed your awakening and the world's salvation up by, he calls it eons. Receive His thanks and you will understand how lovingly He holds you in His mind, how deep and limitless His care for you, how perfect is His gratitude to you. Remember hourly to think of Him and give Him thanks for everything He gave His Son, that He might rise above the world, remembering His Father and His self. We want to rise above the world, remembering our Father and ourself. All right. I thank my Father for His gifts to me. Should be a fairly easy lesson for you. Just be thankful. Feel the gratitude. Be thankful for all that you've learned. And that thankfulness is going to bubble out. You're going to find yourself wanting to share that wonderful awareness with others. All right. Let's go take a look in our text reading. And we're in chapter 18, the dream and the reality. We're in section 2, substitution as a defense. And we're ready for paragraph 9. And remember that as just a quick recap, substitution as a defense, in that first paragraph he said, the one error which brought truth to illusion, infinity to time, and life to death, was all you ever made. That one illusion, you who believe that God is fear, made but one substitution. So we made one substitution, that it was fearful, that God was fearful. And he says that concept that you thought that you were separated from God, and it scared you. And he says that's the one substitution that caused all of our difficulties. You've expressed surprise at hearing how very different is reality from what you see. You do not realize the magnitude of that one error. So we're realizing that the whole world is peopled with what we have sent out in the belief that we're separated from God. And then it created all kinds of other forms of insane ideas that we're living by and bound by as long as we believe them. Okay, but we're going to pick up in paragraph 9 in just a minute. Let me just tell you about a little plant right here. Maybe you can see it just a little bit right here. This is Comfrey. And Comfrey, Comfrey's one of those plants. I think I've got some stuff written down about it. It's Symphytum officinale is a scientific name. And, I've heard both both sides of this. Some people say it's poisonous, some people say it's not. You know, that probably eating enough of it probably could make you sick. It's got some toxins in it. But you know, as medicine, it might have some real good value. I don't really know. I use it as a bio-accumulator in my garden. The roots are deep, and it brings lots of minerals up from the deeper in the soil, and it spreads, and the big leaves on it. Here, I've got a piece I broke off. Here's some, you can see it a little better here. These leaves are they make just a really nice mulch. So a lot of people grow it like in a underneath fruit trees, for instance, because it'll help fertilize the fruit trees with nutrients from deep in the soil, and it also will die down as a living mulch, or it'll be alive, and then when the leaves die back, it'll be a mulch. It'll come back every year once you get it planted. Matter of fact, it tends to kind of take over. So put it in a place where you want something to take over and not have to have much care for it. And then as we explore it, maybe we'll find some incredible values in it for medicine for man. But I don't know what those are at this point. I've heard that it's been used for healing bones that are broken. I think anyway, I've heard that. Another thing I wanted to show you is I showed you when I first started them, those little tomatoes. Well, here's one of the Romas. It's ready to put out. It was in amongst a whole bunch of them in my window. It's been growing nicely. I brought them out because danger of frost is over and it's ready to put in the ground. And of course, when I put that in the ground, I'll probably break these bottom leaves off right here. Let's see if I can get it standing up long enough where you can see what I'm talking about. Pull these leaves off right there, down here and give yourself a lot of stem, and all that goes in the ground, and you'll have a lot of roots that'll come out, because tomatoes will root along the stem. And so putting them in the ground real deep, we'll put it real deep in the ground to begin with, which is really nice. So little spindly plants in the windowsill actually can be beneficial when you get them out in the garden, because you've got a lot of stock that will all turn into a root mass. Okay, let's take a look in paragraph 9. We'll finish this section. In your relationship, where he has taken charge of everything at your request, he has set the course inward to the truth you share. In the mad world outside you, nothing can be shared but only substituted. And sharing and substituting have nothing in common with reality. Within yourself, you love each other with a perfect love. Here is holy ground in which no substitution can enter, and where only the truth about each other can abide. Wow, so there is a place in us that's holy ground. And it says, within yourself, you love each other with a perfect love. Here is holy ground in which no substitution can enter, and where only the truth about each other can abide. Here you are joined in God as much as together as you are with Him. The original error was not entered here, nor ever will. Here is the radiant truth to which the Holy Spirit has committed your relationship. Let Him bring it here where you would have it be. Give Him but a little faith in each other to help Him show you that no substitute you made for heaven can keep you from it. Well, give a little faith to your brothers and sisters and know that, okay, I must be seeing something wrong if I'm not seeing love, because I must not be standing on the holy ground that we share. Let's see. Let's back up. Let Him bring it here where you would have it be. Give Him but a little faith in each other to help Him show you that no substitute you made for heaven can keep you from it. In you there is no separation, and no substitute can keep you from each other. Your reality was God's creation and has no substitutes. Paragraph 10. You are so firmly joined in truth that only God is there. and He would never accept something else instead of you. He loves you both equally and as one, and as He loves you, so you are. You are not joined together in illusions, but in the thought so holy and so perfect that illusions cannot remain to darken the holy place in which you stand together. God is with you, my brothers. Let us join in Him in peace and gratitude, and accept His gift as our most holy and perfect reality, which we share with Him. Wow, let's do that, particularly today, since our lesson is I thank my Father for His gifts to me. And what is that gift? The gift of wisdom, the gift of vision, the gift that we know that we can't ever be separated from God and each other, and that God's in everyone. That's the holy ground we stand on. Thank God for that holy ground so you can stay firm on it. Paragraph 11, heaven is restored to all the sonship through your relationship, for in it lies the sonship, whole and beautiful, safe in your love. Heaven has entered quietly, for all illusions have been gently brought unto the truth in you, and love has shined upon you, blessing your relationship with truth. God and His whole creation have entered it together. How lovely and how holy is your relationship, with the truth shining upon it. Heaven beholds it and rejoices that you have let it come to you. And God Himself is glad that your relationship is as it was created. The universe within you stands with you together, and heaven looks with love on what is joined in it, along with its Creator. Paragraph 12, whom God has called should hear no substitutes. Whom God has called should hear no substitutes. Their call is but an echo of the original error that shattered heaven. And what became of peace in those who heard? Return with me to heaven, walking together out of this world and through another to the loveliness and joy the other holds within it. Would you still further weaken and break apart what is already broken and helpless? Is it here that you would look for happiness, or would you not prefer to heal what has been broken and join in making whole what has been ravaged by separation and disease? I think I'd rather take wholeness and not use separation and looking for a substitute to love or to union with God and all that God is, which includes all our brothers and sisters. In the last paragraph, 13, you have been called together to the most holy function that this world contains. You have been called together to the most holy function that this world contains. It is the only one which has no limits and reaches out to every broken fragment of the sonship with healing and uniting comfort. This is offered you in peace of God. This is offered you in your holy relationship. This is offered you in your holy relationship. Accept it here, and you will give as you have accepted. The peace of God is given you with the glowing purpose in which you join. The holy light that brought you together must extend as you accepted it. So that holy light that you accepted is now going to radiate out from you to all the world and save you and the world with you. That's what we want. That's what we can be thankful for. So let me thank my Father for His gifts to me. Is that our lesson? Is that the right verbiage? Did I say it right? I thank my Father for His gifts to me. You know, that the great gift, that solid ground that we're united with God and all of our brothers and sisters. That's to be thankful for. That we can cry out for help and get an immediate answer and get our miracle, which is a new way of seeing, which is in alignment with truth, that lets the illusion go. That's worth thanking God for. And of course, all the myriad things of sustenance in the physical world that are always provided you. You know, you can truly say, give no thought of tomorrow, for sufficient for the days the evil thereof. What you can do is you can know that the kingdom of heaven is here now, and that you always will get what you need when you need it. You can be thankful for that. Be thankful that when you lack faith, that you have a comforter to help you to have faith in what's real and to overlook what's not real. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. And just as a side note, right behind me is that lilac bush. I'm a little further away from it today, but you can kind of see it. And of course these comfreys, and they get some pretty big leaves on them. That one I picked wasn't a real big leaf. None of these are real big. There's a burdock leaf right here too. Now look how big that leaf is. Burdock. We've talked about that. We'll talk about it more, I'm sure. That's a healing herb right there. The roots particularly. But anyway, I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank my Father for his gifts to me.